How's it going, everyone? AFC Finners here. It's a last minute decision, today's game, but it is an excellent one. We were going to be doing Kettering Town, but due to the selfish Met Office putting in a weather warning, there's been snow. This has led to the game being called off, so we had a change of plan. Yesterday evening, Tamaldo proposed Southampton and he sorted the tickets. Here we are. It's a place I've been to a number of times. My older brother went to university here, seen the ground before, but somehow we never got round to doing a game. That changes today. It's the first Premier League game I've done since we did Aston Villa about 2.5 years ago. Very excited. They're playing Brentford. Obviously been disappointing start to the season to Southampton, but they're hoping it can change under Ivan Juric. But this will be a great one to tick off. I'm very excited. How are you, Tamaldo?
All right.
We've just seen the Kettering game has been announced as called off, so we'll get a refund for that. Let's head over to St Mary's. And there it is, St Mary's. League action. We go cheesy chips and cappuccino. What we got there, Tom?
I had a hot dog without a sausage.
Is eating the sausage before completing the bun. That's criminal. There we go. Nice fan zone. That is heaving. Excited for Premier League action. Tom, tell them what we just did.
I absolutely wiped the floor.
I'll put the link in the description when it's out, but we basically took part in a Southampton fan TV quiz, and yeah, Tom tore me to shreds. I'm sure it'll make great entertainment. We've got programme and a pin badge is £3. Programme's £4. Fair play, pretty good pricing, can't complain. That costs less than my chips and coffee. So, about to go inside, but before we do, let's find out a bit about today's host, Southampton.
Southampton FC were founded in 1885 by members of the St Mary's Church of England Young Men's Association. They joined the Southern League in 1894 as Southampton-St Mary's. They won the Southern League in 1897 and were renamed as Southampton FC. This would be the first of 3 Southern League titles in a row, and they would win it 3 times more in the early 1900s, also moving to their new home in Adel. They also reached their first FA Cup final in 1900, but lost 4-0 to Bury. 2 years later, they lost in the final to Sheffield United after taking to a replay. They were the first British club to tour South America when they visited Uruguay and Argentina in 1904, and they would join the Football League after the First World War. They won the 3rd Division South in 1921 and remained in Division 2 for the next 31 years. They narrowly missed out on promotion in the late 1940s, and 1953 saw them slip back into the 3rd tier. They would be promoted in 1960, and 6 years later, they finally became a top-flight club, with Ted Bates leading them to promotion. They remained in the top flight for 8 years, even reaching European competition in 1970 and 1972, but they were relegated in 1974. Laurie McMenemy rebuilt the side as manager in the 2nd Division and would lead them to their greatest moment. In 1976, Southampton won the FA Cup, with a Bobby Stokes goal sealing a victory over heavy favourites Manchester United at Wembley, and one of the biggest shocks in FA Cup history. It remains their only major trophy. With Alan Ball as captain, they were promoted back to top flight in 1978, and next year would return to Wembley, losing 3-2 to Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest in the League Cup final. Kevin Keegan signed for the club in 1980 and helped them reach 6th in 1981. The 81-82 season saw them contend for the title, and they led the table for nearly 2 months, but their form would slide dramatically, and they ultimately finished in 7th. The next campaign, they finished 2nd and reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Laurie McMenemy would resign in 1985 after 12 great years in charge. The 1990s saw them develop young talents in Alan Shearer and Matt Le Tissier amongst the advent of the Premier League. They suffered embarrassment under the management of Graham Souness, when an unknown striker named Ali Deer convinced the manager he was the cousin of Ballon d'Or winner George Weah. Deer played once for the club and was subsequently released, regarded by many as the Premier League's worst ever signing. They managed to stave off relegation throughout the 90s, while the 2000s started better, with them finishing 8th in the Premier League, and they were runners-up in the FA Cup in the 0203 campaign. They also moved to their current home of St Mary's in 2001. They were relegated in the 0405 season, ending 27 consecutive seasons in the top flight. They experienced financial hardship in the years after, entering administration in 2009. They'd be saved later that year, but were relegated to League One. Good times around the corner though, when they won the Football League trophy, and Nigel Adkins guided them to promotion the next season. Amazingly, they sealed a second consecutive promotion the next year to return to the Premier League. They improved it in the top flight, with Mauricio Pochettino guiding them to an 8th place finish. Ronald Koeman took over and built a strong team, with Sadio Mane scoring the Premier League's quickest ever hat-trick in the space of 176 seconds. They finished 7th and qualified for the Europa League, and finished 6th the next season. Koeman would leave to join Everton, and Claude Puel led them to a League Cup final the next campaign, when Manchester United beat them 3-2. The club battled relegation over the next 2 years, after many of their players were sold, and they experienced humiliating 9-0 defeats to both Leicester City and Manchester United. They were relegated in 2023, but Russell Martin led them to immediate promotion by defeating Leeds in the playoff final. A poor start to the season has seen Martin replaced by Croatian Ivan Juric, and they hope he can turn their form around. Overall, they have won 2 third division titles, 6 Southern League titles, 1 Football League trophy, and 1 FA Cup. And a bit of trivia, in the early 1900s, a student from Bilbao named Juan Elordoy was asked by Athletic Bilbao to find new shirts for the squad whilst in England. He noted that Southampton's red and white kit matched his city's colours, and so he bought 50 shirts back home. Half of them were sent to Atletico Madrid, who were associated with Athletic Bilbao at the time, and both clubs have played in the Southampton-inspired red and white ever since. So those are our hosts, Southampton. Let's have a look inside their home, St Mary's.
We are then. Excited, Tom? So you're saying just now, so you've been here once before, Cheltenham in the FA Cup.
And guess what?
What?
They lost.
Yeah, he was saying they lost and didn't score against Bartosz Białkowski in goal. Doesn't that say a lot? Nice graffiti inside. I won't tell Luciano about this bit. Nice veggie hot dogs, complete with munch for about £5. Let's give it a try. Yeah, not bad. Classic tofu taste. Yeah, quite like that. Good bread. Not falling apart like Tom's hot dog. Boiling hot chocolate.
What is this lid? What is that?
Bloody woke. Right, to our seats.
Yeah.
Premier League action. Look at that, Simon. Beautiful Premier League. You alright, Tom?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Here we are, here's our view. I'm in a safe standing section for the first time. What a view, well done, Tom. Not going to see much today. Here we go. Paid 38 quid for a ticket, this is my view. It's like being in year 6 science with a parachute. First goal of Ground to Ground 2025 goes to Brentford. Kevin Sharder was played through, and with one touch he's neatly poked it beyond Aaron Ramsdale into the corner. First significant chance of the game, and it's Brentford who lead 1-0. Half time time here at St Mary's, and Brentford carried the lead going into half time. The home side have been very poor, very lethargic, no movement, no urgency, whereas Brentford are just constantly pressing, and that's why they're ahead. Brentford's showing all the energy and incentive, and Southampton are playing like it's 1-0 to them in the 89th minute. Very poor, a tiny bit of promise at the end of the second half, but really it's just been nothing else to them. And even Juric is going to give some team talk at half time, but very poor performance. 1-0 half time. Tough pace.
Why are you there?
Good question. Alright, what could possibly go wrong? I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. Southampton broke. Visser's played a night ball to Bueno, who's fired a brilliant shot to the top corner. Visser made a terrible miss a few minutes ago. I think he's made amends. That's probably this 3 points delivered for the West Londoners. The referee has pointed to a spot for a penalty for Brentford. It looks like Visser was tackled down to 4 in the box. He'll check it first, but there'll be chances. Bueno from the spot. Because the Premier League's tough on copyright, I'm going to film the fans. Bueno to make it 3. Just curled it into the right.
Goal scorer for Brentford from 19, Ryan Bueno.
2 for Bueno, 3 for Brentford, and thousands leave St Mary's. The easy journey to the car it will be for us. With over 20 minutes to go, we might be the last man standing. 3-0, 3 points.
The scorer of the Brentford goal is number 23, Keane Lewis-Potter.
Into added time, and Brentford have put the cherry on top. A lovely breakaway move. I've seen it played wide to Keane Lewis-Potter, who's tucked it in. 3-point seals in perfect style. The fans are flooding out. Not a good start to 2025 for the Saints. I think even God won't be able to save the Saints this time.
The goal scorer for Brentford, number 11, Johan Visser.
Well, we certainly got our money's worth for goals today. Johan Visser has been superb, and he has deserved a goal despite the chance he missed. But he's broken through, curled it neatly into bottom corner, and they've placed a second cherry on top. 5-0. It'll be a fun journey back home for the Bees. Well, a terrible afternoon for Southampton. It's been a fun, not too massive 5 goals, but it's nothing less than Brentford deserve. If anything, they deserve more. But I think 5-0 perfect reflects. Southampton were never in it. Lethargic, stood around like statues, no urgency. And good Christ alone knows how even Juric is going to keep his team up. But a pathetic performance in the Saints, and I don't see them staying up with that. Disgraceful. Goodness knows who they can bring in to change that in the January transfer window. But if they're playing like that, they'll be down in no time. Booze ring round St Mary's. It's not going to be a good rest this season. Looks like the Championship is ready and waiting for them. Congratulations to Brentford on the win. 5 goals, well and truly deserved. Routine performance. I think there's one team that play in red and white. They'll be very happy today, and it's certainly not the home side. Full time, 5-0. And so we start 2025 with a 5-goal thriller in the Premier League. Thank you, Tomaldo, for arranging this. A very good last-minute decision. Commiserations towards Southampton support and my friend Paul, who we met before the game. It is a massive shame, but I think those players should be ashamed of themselves. That was a spineless performance, no incentive, and I feel sorry for Southampton fans having to watch that every week. Hopefully you can turn things around in the near future and say it's in the kindest way possible. When you get relegated, you'll be able to come back more positive next season. But really good day, really good experience, and we've got plenty more exciting grounds coming up in the next few weeks. So we're going to head back on the long journey home. Hopefully my home in Cheltenham isn't too covered in snow, thus the weather forecast is warming. But it's been a good start to the season. All the best, Southampton. Thank you for a lovely day. Sorry about the result. And all the best to the Brentford fans that made the journey. Tomaldo, thanks for driving. Anything to add?
Nope.
No. Well, we've seen the home of the Titanic, and it won't be the first thing from Southampton that's sinking, it seems. Time to rate the experience.
So we will start off with the welcome, and I think there's definitely a very good effort to make it a pleasant experience for fans to come. Obviously, like my friend I met was there with his son, who he's brought many times, and he absolutely loves doing that experience of him. So I think if it wasn't a family-friendly place, people wouldn't be going there. But they do a really good effort to do a positive match day experience. There's excellent fan zones, really big gathering of people outside. It's a club that really does mean a lot to the local community, and I really like that. Very passionate fan base. Staff we met for the most part really friendly, and we obviously were involved with that TV interview. It's nice that they're getting fans engaged in creating content and just having a bit of fun. It does help add to the match experience. So I definitely think there's a lot of good effort put in by the club to make it a memorable experience for the fans. It's just a shame that the same effort wasn't put in by the players on the pitch. There was one supporter next to us who was a bit strange. Like, he kept claiming we were sat in his seat, even though he showed us his ticket and it was the wrong seat. But he seemed to be adamant that in his seat. I don't know what that was all about. Apart from that, I was very happy with the welcome received, able to engage with a lot of people. Us outsiders didn't really feel too uncomfortable, so not too much to complain about the welcome. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Food and drink, decent options. You definitely won't leave there hungry. Like, there was plenty I could get. You know, you had veggie options. There's a very nice veggie hot dog, well prepared, and enjoyed some chips outside the ground as well. But, you know, there were burger vans all over the place. Plenty of places you could get food, and it was based in like a good area with like local shops nearby you could get food as well. So I think there's a lot of thought put into the food and drink, and not too much to complain about at all. I think it does the job it needs to, and it's high quality. I'll give the food and drink a 9 out of 10. Atmosphere, it was a bit inconsistent. It was strange. It was very good, like building up to the game, but the point it was the highest was weird because it was after Brentford had a goal disallowed. It kind of went good for a period there, but then went really flat afterwards. And obviously it's difficult to maintain a good atmosphere when you're losing 5-0. There was definitely a lot of promise, and I've heard there can be a good atmosphere when the team is doing well. It's just a shame, obviously it's very difficult to produce that when you are playing that badly. I think there's definitely like points where the atmosphere is something you get excited about, and I've seen a lot of clubs with similar fan bases who have very static atmospheres. So I definitely think there's days that the atmosphere could be better, but I still thought it was half decent considering the circumstances. So I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10. Stadium, it is almost like the king of the sort of cookie cutter bowls, you know, the likes of Leicester, Derby, Cardiff, Swansea, Doncaster, Rotherham that we've seen throughout this series. But it does a really good job. It's in a great location, and I think there's a really, really good effort from the club to help maintain it. You know, I didn't see anywhere that was dirty, and inside I loved how there was all the graffiti of like famous moments in the club history. They really do put in a good effort to maintain the stadium, and everywhere you sit will be a really good view. I don't think there was anything really that made the stadium unique, like in terms of identity, but the area it's in, where you can gather around outside, there were so many different places for people to go, and it was very easy to get to for us. We just parked and walked, and it was easy to follow the crowd, figure out where the stadium was. So really good location, really well maintained. They clearly take a lot of pride in that stadium, and they've made sure to continue investing in it, which a lot of clubs wouldn't do. So I think it's really well looked after, and it's a really nice stadium. It is rather generic, but at least it does the job that needs to. And being generic doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's just similar to other stadiums, but that's better than being in a state of disrepair. So I'll probably give the stadium a 9 out of 10. And finally, value for money, I think 38 quid is a lot objectively, but when you compare it to top flight football, not just in England, but in a lot of areas around the world, it was pretty good considering what you hear some other clubs in the Premier League are charging. And, you know, it was a good experience, and we had a really good view. Got it last minute, but 38 quid's not too bad for a Premier League game, considering some grounds are just write-offs now, you just can't do anymore. Pin badge 3 quid, can't complain about that. Programme 4 quid, not too bad. Some of the food and drink was a bit expensive, like the chips and coffee being 8 quid was a bit pricey, but overall I didn't think it was too bad price-wise. I think it's pretty decent, and they very easily could rip you off like other clubs do, but no, fair play. They overall, pound for pound, I say, pretty reasonably priced. And I've seen a lot of clubs across the country where if you watch them on Match of the Day, even if they're doing well, there's loads of empty seats because fans are priced out. But it seems like Southampton haven't done that, and fair play, that's why they had pretty much a sold-out stadium today. So I'll give the value for money a 9 out of 10. So that was Southampton. They're definitely a really nice club, mean a lot to the local community. It's just a shame that commitment from the fan base isn't being repaid on the pitch, and it's a real shame to see. I've known people that are Southampton fans. My elder brother certainly gained a soft spot for them whilst at uni there. I remember the great side of Nigel Atkins growing up that got promoted to Premier League. But yeah, hopefully they can turn things around, but I think the supporters deserve something better than that on the pitch, because that was lethargic, pathetic, spineless, and it's really sad to see. If you're going to go down, at least go down for a bit of pride. Don't go down like that. They were bloody static, moving about like they were the Ted Bates statue outside the grounds. It really wasn't acceptable. But it's been a really good experience nonetheless, and hopefully if we do come back to St Mary's, there'll be a more positive result for the Saints. Thank you to Aldo for planning this out. Really good idea, because like we said, we were going to do Kettering, but very good idea, Tom, to choose this game instead. Kettering got called off, so it worked out very well, and great to tick off a Premier League grounds, one I've wanted to do for a very long time. Thank you all for watching. I've been AFC Finners. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as £1 a month. See you next time. Bye bye.